Namaste and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about Mars. In this video I will be talking about the birth of Mars and what Mars indicates in astrology. That's all. This video will be having a second part. In that second part I will talk about the indications of good Mars and bad Mars and how to improve the qualities of Mars. A good Mars can give you a lot of good things, but if the Mars is bad, it can bring a lot of calamities like accidents, bad marriage, arguments and all. So we don't want any of these things in our life. So in the second part, I'll tell you how to manage if your Mars is bad and how to improve the qualities of Mars. So the origin of Mars. In Vedic astrology, every planet has a story. We can read these stories in various texts like Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Upanishads, Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana and all. There are so many stories about every planet, but there are certain popular stories also. Mars is known as Bhumi Putra. That means he is born out of Bhumi. But the story goes like this. In the last video, we know that we heard that Daksha and his 27 daughters, they are nakshatras and their husband Moon. This Daksha has so many daughters. Among these daughters, one girl named Sati. She fell in love with Shiva and Daksha didn't like that. Why? Because Sati is living in a palace, she has all the luxury, all the good things in her life. But Shiva, look at Shiva, we all know like he lives in the mountain area, he lives with Bhudaganas or spirit, he doesn't wear silk clothes, he doesn't have any ornaments, he has a snake around his neck. He was surprised, Sati, who was born and brought up in all the luxuries, fell in love with Shiva. Against the wishes of Daksha, Sati got married to Lord Shiva, so the father has a lot of bad attitude towards this couple and he almost neglected his daughter and his son-in-law. One day, Daksha conducted a yagna. This yagna is very famous, so he invited all the people like all the distinguished gods like Devas, Devis and other minor deities. But Shiva was not invited. Shiva and Sati were not invited. So Sati was very upset about this and she went there to question her father. When she went there and questioned her father humiliated her in front of everybody. Her father said, who Shiva is, just see how he looks. He is very ugly, he is not rich. So Sati was very much humiliated. Then and there itself she committed suicide. It was not like committing suicide, but she just left her body out of humiliation through some yoga. So listening to this, Shiva sent the Bhudagana to destroy the yagya. The Bhudaganas destroyed the yagya. And when Shiva heard that his wife committed suicide, he started meditating. Out of that fury, out of that sorrow, a drop of tear fell down to the ground to the earth, and this drop of sweat was very hot. Nothing in the world could hold it. So the Bhumi Devi consumed it, and that's how Mars was born. In the backstory, we will come to know that the birth of Mars is connected with a lot of sorrow, sufferings, fury, anger, emotions, struggles, war, because Shiva sent out his Bhudaganas to destroy the yagya. So destruction, accidents. In that yagya, what I read is that the deity Pusha, the deity of Revati Nakshatra, Pusha was sitting in the front row. One of the Bhudagana kicked his mouth and he lost the front teeth. So whomever is born in Revati Nakshatra will have a love for cereals, because they cannot, the Pusha, the deity cannot eat hard subjects, hard food. So this deity, he eats cereals which cannot be easily swallowed. So the Revati Nakshatra people, they will love these cereals, milk and all that. The backstory is this. So what happened is that we'll come to know that Mars, the birth of Mars is connected to a lot of sorrow, struggles, pain, anger, fury, accidents, revenge, hatred, army. So these all things are indicated by Mars. In astrology, Mars indicates all these things. Mars is a natural malefic planet. Mangal dosha is a very infamous dosha which has been misinterpreted by many people. It has its own benefits, but yes, when Mars is connected to the houses which is for marriage, that can bring struggles in the marriage. It is true also, but it is not like, there are certain aspects and placement which eliminates or erase the Manglic dosha. So you see this story, then you will understand what Mars indicates in astrology. It indicates passion, it indicates enemy, it indicates fury, it indicates army. In the planetary cabinet, Mars is soldier. So whomever has the influence of Mars in Lagna or the 10th house, they will have a lot of resistance. A good soldier should have a lot of resistance, should have a lot of strength. So Mars indicates resistance, strength. Mars indicates sports like boxing, then various kind of sports like athletics, whatever sports. Mars indicates all that. Mars indicates blood. Mars indicates the facial organs, the face, because in the natural zodiac wheel, the first house is ruled by Aries. Mars rules two signs, they are Aries and Scorpio. So the first house will have a influence of Mars. No matter which Lagna you are, your first house has the shadow of Aries in it. So everyone's first house has the shadow of Mars also. If Mars is in the first house, placed well, this person will be always youthful, because Mars indicates young men, Mars indicates brothers, younger siblings, Mars indicates youth. So when Mars is aspecting the Lagna or in the Lagna, the person will be very youthful, the person will have soldier-like physique, doesn't have to be very tall or doesn't have to be very short. The Mars ruled people may not be very tall, they will have enough height to be a soldier. Their body, even if it is a female, even that person is a female, that female will have broad shoulders, wide eyes, because the soldier, he wants to locate all the enemies. The eyes will be very big, very round, with good eyesight. Yes, there are other planets which indicates eye, but Mars also technically indicates eyes. These people will have broad shoulders because they have to carry the weapon. They have strong arms because the fight, the war, it has to be fought through the hands. Like, even if it is a cavalry, even if it is an army person, that person will have strong hands, broad shoulders, so that they can keep the army. In ancient days, people used to fight with sword, bow and arrow and spear. Everything is been handled by hand. So the shoulder area and the hands will be designed by the universe in a way that this person can handle this stress, the weight and all. Mars indicates bone, marrow, red things. Mars also indicates the sportsman spirit, the resistance. If your Mars is good, you will have good resistance, good kind of longevity. See, in the natural zodiac wheel, 8th house indicates longevity. And which planet rules the 8th house in the zodiac wheel? Mars, because in the natural zodiac wheel, Scorpio rules the 8th house, so Mars rules the 8th house. So there are many instances when we see our life, when we do a retrospect on our life, whether we can understand whether our Mars is good or bad. When the Mars is good, we will have good kind of anger towards cheating, anger towards unrighteousness, anger towards dishonesty. But when Mars is bad, we will be getting angry when somebody say any good things against you. See, one thing right now I remember, like, in the last story about the moon lost its luster, so it went to Lord Shiva. He prayed Lord Shiva. Then Lord Shiva only diminished the intensity of the curse. Lord Shiva said, you will wax and wane. I cannot completely eradicate your curse, but I can give a boon. See, moon and Shiva, they both are co-brothers according to Vedic astrology. Moon also married Daksha's daughters. Mars also married Daksha's daughter. Even, Shiva also married Daksha's daughter. Shiva, Alam is a Malayalam word. Shiva is carrying moon on his head. So that shows the connection between Lord Shiva and the moon. And Mars, it indicates a lot of red things. Sometimes the Malayalam is coming in. I'm so sorry for that. So, in Vedic astrology, Mars is known as Angaraka, Mars is known as Kuja, Mars is known as Bhaumaputra. When Bhaumaputra, it means a lot. For example, Mars is the natural indicator of land because it is the Putra, the son of Bhumi. So, it has the natural quality to indicate real estate deals. So, if your Mars is connected to the 4th house, you can be a real estate dealer, real estate developer, civil engineer, interior decorator, anybody who deals with the matters of the 4th house, that is especially home. So, many contractors, like, real estate contractors have the influence of Mars in their 4th house. So, Mars, you need to have a good Mars to understand the value of resistance, understand the value of strength. If the Mars is good, the person cannot be defeated in an argument or war. If Mars is bad, the person will create a lot of enmities, unwanted enmities. He will go into the to the people and will create enmities. So, I was telling about longevity. In the natural zodiac wheel, Mars rules the 8th house, that is Scorpio. So, 8th house indicates longevity. So, Mars is also a kind of planet which indicates longevity. Even though Saturn is the planet which indicates longevity, Mars is also the planet which indicates longevity. Then Mars indicates determination, Mars indicates chemistry, Mars indicates heat, Mars indicates burns, ruptures, because ruptures, especially Mars indicates blood. So, whatever can bring the blood out is being indicated by Mars. Mars indicates confidence. So, if you have a good Mars, you will have good confidence. You will apply that confidence in the right place. If the Mars is bad, you will unnecessarily become very much confident for no reason. That will invite multiple troubles also. And Mars indicates animals like, elephant, wolf, then vulture, hawk and all. Mars indicates garlic, Mars indicates drinks like brandy, whiskey, various kind of alcohols, then fire, then Mars indicates left ear, then Mars indicates face, pelvis, because 8th house indicates hip to thigh area, whichever organs are between hip to thigh area. What are the organs there? Urinary bladder, anus, then the pelvic region, scrotum, groins, all these things are indicated by Mars. Then female sexual organ or male sexual organ are indicated by Mars. When the Mars is there in the Lagna, or if it is aspecting the Lagna, the person's face will be very expressive, and because Mars indicates passion, the person's face will be expressive. They will have red color, like even if you are living in a different geographical location, for example black people, we don't see red faced people there, but this black person with Mars aspect or placement in the Lagna will have a little more reddish mixed black, and these people will be having a youth look, young look, because Mars indicates young people. Despite male or female, if you are a Mars ruled Lagna, or Mars is in the 1st house, or Mars aspecting the 1st house, then you will have that youthful look. It is a very good thing of Mars. Then if Mars Mars also indicates fevers, various kinds like smallpox, chickenpox. Then Mars indicates plague, Mars indicates inflammation, Mars indicates brain fever, hemorrhage, thyroid, and Mars indicates abortions also. When the 11th house or 5th house is connected to Mars through placement, aspect and conjunction, the chances of abortions will be higher. Despite you have to check whether your horoscope promises an abortion or not. If the horoscope also promises abortion, then this placement can be a bit complex. Then tumor also Mars indicates strength of the muscles. Then steel, coffee, iron, then tobacco, walnut, cashew nut, mustard, garlic, metal, all these things are indicated by Mars. Mars rules 3 nakshatras, which are Mrikshira, Chitra and Dhanishta. When these planets are connected to the 10th house or any house related to career, that means you will have a lot of responsibilities at your work. When Mars is connected to the career houses, it can also show like, you can get into a job through sports quota or a sports related career. And Mars also indicates administration. Yes, Sun indicates administration, but Mars also indicates administration, because soldier, if some calamities happen, soldier, that battalion of people will come, they will manage the situation. Like, during, we know that during earthquakes and floods, during the Kerala floods, a big group of soldiers came and they handled all the situations. So administering also is the part of Mars. Mars forms a very good yoga called Ruchaka Yoga. Ruchaka Yoga, it is a Panchamahaprusha Yoga. When you have Ruchaka Yoga, it shows that, you have a good power to lead the people. You have very good resistance, and you can have good physical health also. And Mars gives another good yoga called Guru Mangala Yoga. That means you will be respected as a person who has the power to control others. For example, judge, policeman, then anybody working in any company who can control the people, like team leaders. According to the degree of the Guru Mangala Yoga, you can rose up to various levels. If Guru Mangala Yoga is of first degree, you can be in the top official. You can be the top official of government or the private organization, like CFO, CEO, and everything. If it is a minor Guru Mangala Yoga, you can be a small team leader in a small company. So that these are the things which are indicated by Mars. So it is very important to have a good Mars. Such people will somehow survive. Like Mars also indicates that survival capabilities. So if your Mars is good, you will have good survival tendencies. So this is my small video about Mars in astrology. In the second part, I'll talk about good Mars and bad Mars, and what you need to do if your Mars is bad, and how, if your Mars is good, how can you multiply that good things. I hope you understood this. See you later. Bye bye.